Простак Лео. Это тебе была адресована записка, нет?
The lyrics to this container song are being made. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard. Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
Что вы имеете против
I mean,
источников?
I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
Так. Ты Уби.
Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No sir, those are just nasty rumors.
Это пародия на шотландца?
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Да, меня скорректирую. Я разыскиваю председателя профсоюза. На контейнер. Это ты тот Лео, для которого вы написали записку.
Oh yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I am. Oh yes, I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
Значит, туда что-то подсыпают.
Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a borscht that turns little guys into dogfighters. Alcohol, however.
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Да, кто его готовит?
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Похоже, что туда что-то добавляют.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
Ага. Ты здесь работаешь?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me, I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. And Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away.
Очень смешно.
Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Что за мисс Бафорта?
Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so. And she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
So Everett trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting.
Да. Ты не сел на часть ботинки. По-моему, ты отлично
Yes,
справляешься.
this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are alright.
А где все-то?
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike.
Да,
The
я
whole
заметил.
union is.
So no one is working?
Ну, кроме него.
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate.
А если подойти к головомеру со спины, что будет?
But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
Какую заварушку ввязались этот Тит и его друзья?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's him and his boy stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling him to take some time off.
Ну а что они именно
I guess the
сделали?
boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
Разрешите-ка, Лео, в какую драку они ввязались? Это они убили наемника.
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, words, and look. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some...
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Смотрите, возвышаюсь за его гору контейнеров.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in
Может, они
Union
перепродают
colors.
эти контейнеры кому-то?
It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
Такс.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
А что внутри?
Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals. Most of them have labels on them, I think.
Так, ладно.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Что в контейнере?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Я должен был проверить. Ким, не надо.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their
Рассказали
entire
мне
lives
какие
in this here
неприятные
neighborhood.
личности.
Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys. Oh, Mr. Everett is usually in his office, of course. But you gotta be quick if you want to see him. He leaves around 10 p.m.
В 10? У нас 40 минут на это дерьмо. Так, там же, где и всегда в своем офисе, знаешь, так, надо подивиться на два соседних контейнера справа. Ладно?
Bye-bye now.
Спасибо, уважаемый. Топали. В своих контейнерах засели. Такс. Ну что ж, мы прошли через эти контейнера, они тут засели, потому что грунт все еще теплый. Из поддонов идет вверх. А вот ты, черт. Нифига себе. Вот это тут, конечно, хорошо устроился, братан. Килоры быстро сделали часы. Ну что ж, я так полагаю, нас сейчас ждет увлекательный разговор.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
Yeah.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Прошу.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff?
Дюбуа.
You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Доброй репутации. Так, я бы хотел сменить форму, чтобы, не знаю, как там поудобнее.
Have a good day, Mr.
Так, давайте я быстро сменю. Так, одежда. Это мне, конечно, дает концептуализацию, но тут можно и полицейскую волну с трепетом. И сумрака еще. О, шик. Ну, скорость реакции можно было бы убрать. Она мне сейчас ни к чему будет. А все остальное, в принципе, можно было оставить. А, ну, мужик, у меня еще есть вопросы.
Mr. Dubois, I hope time is on your side this time. Please, take a seat.
Ладно, будем играть по твоим
Excellent,
правилам.
Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Просто измывается над твоим задом. Нифига себе, я чуть не помер. Представляете, я тут сейчас загнулся у него перед лицом.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
Обычный чек на столе.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's
Хорошие
good
деньги.
money.
Тебе они
You
нужны.
need it.
Так, взять для смешного огромный чек. Взять для смешного огромный чек, но ничего. Мне это не нужно, оставьте себе. Все в жопу. Я спрошу, знаете,
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
Угу. Что и вредный.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me?
No.
Нет.
Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure,
Это
if that's
диско.
what's cool nowadays.
Чувак, это просто диско, не обращай внимания.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun.
Ай.
Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and
Тебе-то откуда
I
известно?
know everything, Harry. Right now,
Harry.
I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's... It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Ким, можно одолжить у тебя? Я застрелю этого Джаббу Хатта.
it was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Всегда держишь заряженным. Самообладание не выkonивать. Взял необычный чек.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Я сейчас помру, не так ли?
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't
Да.
you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
Не собирайся, я плакать. Ну и что, мужчины тоже плачут.
You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. You'll think you're disgusting.
Я думаю, я беспокоюсь о детях.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
Я всегда так выгляжу, это мое естественное состояние.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Chill, bro, chill, just chill. Кек.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Продолжит стекать по стулу, как алкожеле. Нет, не ходи, Гарри, уходи, себя там безопасно. А я... Я алкожеле.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Да, стул не очень удобный, можно?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right
Кто
back
этот
at him.
Дюбуа-то, скажите мне?
He's Mr. Dubois.
Этот стул не очень удобный. Я бы не отказался от стакана воды, сесть прямо. Чем заиметь? Стол. Нет, мне нехорошо, лучше... нет, мне хорошо, лучше не бывает, господин Дюбуа. Честно говоря, этот стул не очень удобный, я бы после стакана воды. Я таю.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Не то чтобы очень.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions.
Так.
Police officer questions.
Если вы говорите повешенному, расследую ваше подозрительное варево. Я пил Джойс, она предлагает... Она представляет компанию, что находится в контейнере, что снаружи. Так. Давайте говорим о повешении.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you.
Кто, что, как, когда, зачем, почему.
I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
Но...
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
Так, у вас сложная информация, это не про нас. Каким-то образом мы машины по открыванию дверей?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Да.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
The stars aligned into a cosmic frown here. He has your fate decided. Bide your time, however, and let the stars continue their course, and that frown shall turn into a smile.
И чья это дверь?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
Я так полагаю, он хочет, чтобы я открыл дверь или в танцах, или в офисе, который был закрыт, в который я проник после того, как спрыгнул. Или он хочет, чтобы я открыл дверь порта и начал впускать этих стачников, чтобы они начали там побоище. Вы же ничего не знаете. Да уж.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
Допустим.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry.
No.
Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Хотите спросить, как я здесь оказался? Я следую ваше подозрительное варево. Я оставил Джойс также.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union
Просто
versus
друзья?
corporate... Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martin 8. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
Джойс считает, что просто будет повышать требования.
Yes, yes. Low-balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Почему вы просто не поговорите с ней?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
А что произошло с предыдущим?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
Я его отпустил?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
Ты оскорбил его.
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is.
It's hard to say if he really lost his temper, or if this is another one of his tricks. This man almost never
Of course, Harry. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her, right? This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
Так. Я следую ваше подозрительное
I
варево.
don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
Так, что находится в контейнере, что снаружи?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
Который на кране.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Может попытаться его открыть, если его попытаться. Так, поможете мне снять с дерева?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Чтобы рабочим было удобней.
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
Так, помогите общественности.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down.
Ну что там?
And Jean, please take it easy with the race signs. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates.
Да.
He's the big
Я
impressive
видел.
one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss Harry. Honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age.
Человек в моем возрасте. Я тоже удивлен стойкостью атлетического комментария своего организма.
Yes, yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Тьфу.
Of course, let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me... My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
Итак, моя память несколько затуманилась. С моей памятью все в порядке, я просто вас проверял.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is, I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask.
Don't trust him. For all you know, Dubois might be his name. You need to confirm.
I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right. I can.
It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Там, наверное, мое удостоверение
Are
лежит.
you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Так. Снова присмотреться к папке. Откуда у вас эта папка?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me,
Меня
Harry.
сдали.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
И что у нас сказано о том, какой я коп?
Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic.
Прошу прощения.
Yes. You seem to be. A lot of the time. But right now, there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you.
Быть мной? Сейчас я тебя разнесу, гнида. Вы знаете, где я живу?
But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay.
Знаете что-нибудь о семье, о жене или?
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats.
Ладно. Это мое полное имя.
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
А,
And I can
Certainly,
work with
sir.
you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you?
Ну что, рискнем?
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Понятно.
Yes, yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
Означает, что он на самом деле ничего не
that
знает.
a pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
Только один вариант.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Пистолет могли выкупить из ломбарда Роя. Ваши люди это учли?
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Я не понимаю, что этот стильный шантаж меня не волнует. Мой пистолет, оставьте его себе. Хотите сказать, что я должен что для вас сделать, чтобы вернуть свой пистолет?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
He is not.
Ничего подобного.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
Так.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Да, отлично.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take...
Спасибо. Ким?
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
Я еще не заплатил управляющему.
You should take care of that then.
Денег у меня нет, я всего
Let's talk to
4
him
рубля
anyway.
собирал.
An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the street. We'll figure something out.
Окей. Ладно. Получилось. Скажите, я скажу, более-менее как-то. Вроде не совсем приятно, но тем не менее получилось. Так, стоп, что там было? Ставил это кофе на кофейном столике. Ну и пускай он там стоит. Так. Ну что ж, что у меня в инвентаре? Предметы. Угу. Огромный рекламный чек. 20 на 50. Выйти на 25 реалов. Окей. Что я с этого имею? Особый борщ. Снимите труп. Вы просите его снять. Возместите ущерб. Откройте двери. Особый борщ. Особый борщ, который едет в точке. Угу. Так, осталось только спуститься отсюда. Главное, чтобы головомер сбежал раньше времени от меня. Люди-то в основном 21 час, по сути, если мерить игре, начинают отправляться спать, а этот хрен его знает. Так, мне получается сейчас в эту дверь надо прошмыгнуть. Так. Да, похоже, можно пройти. Головомер где-то есть. Теперь мы можем поговорить о цивилизованном? Ты мне опять ставишь леща. Я тут распорядился.
So it was. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior. That,
You're so noble, Measurehead.
but while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
Так. Пока здесь главный агент. Что если мы не хотим этого делать?
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves. I can live with it.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic
Сейчас
outlook.
он просто-напросто возьмет этот труп и выбросит его.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
Открывай дверь! Я говорю, сейчас он просто-напросто избавится от трупа, и мы вообще его не найдем.
The woman's gaze follows measure.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Мы здесь закон.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
Он ужас.
You hear that? That's it. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
Хватит меня.
Don't worry. Physical stuff like this is really easy for Measurehead. Mental stuff, too. He's really spiritual, you know. It's late outside, isn't it? You guys must really like doing what you do to be out so late.
Угу. Ну что? Снял, сломал, выбросил. Что ты там натворил? Это действительно человек чести. Я люблю Неужто
The
выполнил?
corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Reisvik, and what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
Мы уходим. Ким, мы просто уходим. Но пройти дальше-то я не смогу все равно, потому что этот придурок встал на свое место. И ящичек мне там... Ну, что ж. Так, подожди, а этот нарковый куда смотался? Который тут сидел? Смотрите, все разошлись, ну, как я и говорил. Так, в магазин тоже уже не завалишься. А нет, можно, в принципе. Давай, почему бы нет? Дико извиняюсь за то, что так поздно, но бутылки сами себя не сдадут.
The tear machine stands. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
60
Do
копеек.
you know what you should do with that?
Да. Не буду пить, курить за свои деньги, только за бесплатно. Так. Пошли посмотрим, что он там наворотил. А ты что здесь сидишь?
Hello again, officer. I'm a Nighthawk. What can I say?
She's still here because you're still here.
Ну да.
You don't have to stay because of us.
I like the city at night. Don't you?
Нет, нам не нравится этот город. Так. Может, он пацану заодно вмазал? Нет. Ох ты, нифига себе. Ну что, жмурик, вот он, пожалуйста. Ким, мы довольны?
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's
Прекрасно.
gently laid on one side.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
К осмотру?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual.
О боже.
The fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut his shit
Чё
up.
бы жмурика? А знаешь, как этот специалиста, врача какого-нибудь там?
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From autopsy to cleanup, to social work, everything.
Почетно?
An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able. Usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is Lieutenant Detective. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now,
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Ну, что такое
come on,
написано?
officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But
Unfortunately, no.
Ладно, я просто...
And hygienically,
У меня есть садовые перчатки, может, они
they are
подойдут.
better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes.
А,
That's right.
Окей, допустим.
the dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts.
Может, стоило этого жмура на что-то положить, чтобы он так вот в грязи не валялся.
Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
Окей.
That's you.
Так, вписать инициалы.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. Just
KK57-0803.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you.
Он сказал, думаю, свои данные, не мои. Пофигу, в
Next.
принципе. Имя.
NA. Next. NA.
Так.
Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
Напишу 42.
He nods.
Происхождение.
Mondial.
Мунди.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Muindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Пол.
Fucky!
Пик мелкое чудовище.
Male.
Логично.
Pigs can have sex!
Так, записать пошла жара. С этим загоняешь. Что, дурак,
Nor
что ли?
does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
We're
That
still
was
going
good.
with March 4th. What else? 9.
Загорит.
Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
Окей.
KK 57 0503
None. At least not after the initial examination.
Что подразумевается под манипуляцией? Что его сюда принесли?
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dogwalkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-Delorean burial rites. Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbat puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide, the other an accident. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something.
The boots are ceramic. Vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boot. The boot has a serial number. It's if tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Запишем.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
Так.
Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Так. О, да,
The hanged
готово.
man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
О боже.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully.
Я
With that-
постараюсь.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Так. Следующее место для разреза.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast.
Ну ладно.
You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then
Так. Подверни еще. Мы облажались, конечно, знатно. Привет.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck that buggery. Corpse fucking so.
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
Угу. Пускай
he
попробует.
sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts, with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark.
Here,
Угу. Спасибо.
the rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck. On the hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it.
genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Хорошо,
Back
пускай
is
так и будет,
symmetrical
я верю
and
на слово.
intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain that knew little tenderness in life.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
Last item, hands.
Так. Найти руку мертвеца. Пускай
Hands are
работает.
clean. No sign of a recent struggle.
Так. Никаких признаков недавней борьбы. Окей.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
То дальше. Так.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a
Конечно.
moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Нет сведений.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it.
Ой, фу,
Gently,
господи.
you hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact.
Мгм.
Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and
Мы
mouth.
будем просто
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Вписать.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits lividity in the lower extremities, feet, hands, and neck. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Пойдет.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Отпускаем.
What's next on the list?
Что следующее? Описание
Let's see.
повреждений.
We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 feels. Leave a fourth one too.
Что по поводу...
Oh, so we inflicted them?
Ну, я нанес.
Okay, so there's an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention it. Better not to muddy the waters.
Так, та-та-та. Медведь, значит, нанесок к повреждению.
Injuries.
Так, следы укусов. Может, его собаку
Head,
покусали?
chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Окей.
And your opinion, officer?
На заключение является...
Agreed. Next injury?
Кровоподтеки.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it
At maximum velocity, fucko!
has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Не является.
Right. Next,
Так, струнгуляционная
a
борозда.
dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Предварительно.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's...
Ну, хоть что-то.
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
Ну ладно. Заканчивать это наружный осмотр завершенным. Так. Ну, как прошло? В целом.
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Да.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink isn't...
И что
I need a
теперь?
copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg
А,
for processing.
I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Так, Империя... Мертвец, скажи мне, кто ты?
I'm gone
Меня здесь нет. А где ты?
into the wild pale yonder, in the past, way out west.
Мгм. Но я не могу открыть тайник. в
The
планшете.
blue heart? Oh, that's good shit. Just press down and fuck it open like you always do. Fuck it hard, Copopo the clown.
He means force.
Да,
It's
я
all
понял. Я вижу, что тебя не... Ну, кто ты?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
Теперь да.
A killer.
Takes one to know one.
Рыбак рыбака видит издалека.
Go ahead, Kobo.
Что
What
происходит?
do you mean?
С тобой
It's the
разговариваю.
power of your imagination.
Круто.
Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You
Ты противный.
fucking love
Скучный
questions. Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure wrinkled out of that one, Coppolini. Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible. Also, see me in your dream.
Летёха,
Okay,
пакуй.
I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can take care of it. It's too late to take him into processing today. I'll take him first thing tomorrow.